My name is Karen King. I grew up here at City Church. I've been here since I was 10 years old. I've been working in the ministry as long as they would let me work. Never been sick, never had to go to the doctor, never really went to the doctor. Don't like to go to doctors. Then one day at work, my legs started hurting me. And the more I worked, the more it would hurt. And I'd have to go sit in the locker room and just cry and hide so nobody would see me. So I finally ended up going to the doctor. And the doctors determined my back what was causing my leg to hurt. From there, they did the back surgery. I was like, this is not right. Something's wrong here. So I ended up going to the emergency room. Well, sure enough, by the next morning, they come in and tell me, says, Ms. King, we found the problem. We found that you have an infection in your bloodstream, you have septicemia. In a matter of a day or two, people were having to move my leg for me. I couldn't move my legs at all. And so they started investigating that. And they took them a few days and they said, okay, we find the problem. So at this point, I was really tired. I was weak. I couldn't move my legs. And I just felt all alone. That night, it was really awesome, but it wasn't, because it was really scary to me. All of a sudden, it was like I was just taken from my body. It was like, and I was there. I was standing before, it was like a black and white scene, and I was standing before these two, I want to say beings or persons. They had this rope, and they were tugging back and forth. And it was like they were fighting over me, but all I could do was just stand there and watch it happen. And I just didn't understand. I said, where am I? And all of a sudden, one of them just did this and let go, and I started falling. And as I began to fall, things just started coming at me, these demonic things, the way they looked and everything. They were flying through the air as I was falling, and they'd come at and try to get me. And right as they got to me, whatever was attached to me just would pull me up out of the way, and they'd go past me. And I went through that it felt like days. I'm telling you, it felt like days of just things trying to attack me. And every time they'd get close, whatever this was attached to me, this rope would pull me out of the way. And so I finally fell and I hit bottom. I was under this something under this covering, and even under the covering, things would come after me, but they couldn't quite reach me. And so I finally looked up, and I saw this rope coming down, and I looked down, it was attached to my ankle, and it was a red rope. I realized what it was. I realized that it was the blood of Jesus. That rope attached to my leg was the blood of Jesus. And I realized if it wasn't for that, I'd have died, because I was that close to death, that if I wouldn't have been under his covering and protected, that person fighting over me, Jesus would have had to let go, and I'd have been gone. I wouldn't be here today. From that point on, I started getting better. And believe it or not, I'm here today. And I walked out of that hospital. And my legs are much better now. I'm getting stronger. But it was the scariest thing that I had ever gone through in my life. I know, even though I've been in church all my life, and everybody thinks you're a good person, because they see you in church and all. But some things can get embedded in your heart. And I realized I had unforgiveness in my heart, and I held it for a long time. And I realized that that's most likely what caused me to become sick. God really blessed me, believe it or not, allowing that to creep in and get in, because it allowed me to see where I was making my mistakes and how to get them corrected so that I could move on in my life and really grow in the way that I needed to grow. I never really had a testimony, because I was never a person that got out and did all these kind of things for God to save me from. But unforgiveness, something that nobody knows that's in your heart, can send you to hell. If I wouldn't have been covered by his blood and his protection, I'd have died that night and went to hell. I wouldn't be here today. I saw that in that dream. No matter what has tried to attack me through my life or the things that I was going through, I need to just depend 100% totally on him, because he's there with me. And he's going to bring me out of everything that I go through. He's going to just pull me out when the time comes that I need to be pulled. He's going to take me out of it.